Mark Twain once said, "If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you read the newspaper, you're misinformed." And while the medium we receive our news from might have changed, this statement remains true. The media thrives on misinformation and emotional pandering. We as Americans have unprecedented access to the media and the news information on a daily basis. Whether it be Twitter, Facebook, CNN, or the radio, we are constantly receiving and transmitting ideas and information. For that reason alone, we should do our best to understand and counteract media manipulation. Media manipulation is defined as an act of creating an image or argument that favors one's own particular interests. Personally, I see media manipulation in various forms throughout the day, and I believe that many people take any and all information they receive from the media as fact. This is a mistake. The media is not trustworthy, and it will do anything it can to keep ratings and views high, while keeping the public misinformed. My goal with this speech is to show you how the media delivers misinformation on a daily basis through techniques such as scapegoating, fear-mongering, and cherry-picking, also known as the fallacy of incomplete evidence. To start, let us look at the technique known as scapegoating. Scapegoating is where all blame is placed squarely on a person or group, even when they did not contribute fully to the problem. Scapegoating is used in all forms of media. I mean, let's be realistic here. How often do we hear illegal immigrants cause rising healthcare costs, or why Obama is bankrupting our country? These complicated issues cannot be solved by placing all of the blame on one person or group. Yet, many news sources will try and convince you they are. Different news sources are biased and will highlight any event or policy that makes the opposing group look bad. This is especially true recently in respect to political parties and law enforcement. However, historically, scapegoating has been an extremely effective tool to divert people's attentions away from the real and hard-to-fix issues and more towards a convenient conclusion for the media and the groups they represent. However, when they can't reach the public through blame, they resort to other methods. This leads us to fear-mongering. Fear-mongering is the action of deliberately arousing fear in the public. And while there are many examples of this, the best is the U.S. media's stories and coverage post 9/11. While we can all agree September 11th was a tragic day that will live in infamy, and as deserving of news coverage as it was, we the American people were saturated with news, theories, and warnings of future attacks. These warnings and predictions of future attacks aroused fear throughout the nation, even leading to a new color-coded threat level. Our government used this fear and panic to pass sweeping legislation that encroaches on every American's privacy and civil liberties, and this strategy is still used today on a regular basis, almost 14 years in the future. In fact, this is the reason multiple legislations have been approved with little resistance that continually encroach on the rights of citizens. In essence, the media controls how you think by choosing what information it wants to present to you. This leads me to my final technique of media manipulation: cherry picking, better known as the fallacy of incomplete evidence. The fallacy of incomplete evidence is a very simple tool. Show people only the information that helps you make your point, while ignoring all things that don't. Cherry picking is an effective tool in affecting one's thoughts on policies and opinions because it allows someone to only share that information which will make you agree with them. There is no balance in the argument at all because contradictory evidence will never be presented. I can tell you that water is bad for you. It kills hundreds of people every year. While you may say that last sentence is preposterous, in a certain light it is true. Hundreds of people do die every year in drowning-related deaths. And if this is all the evidence I present to you, you might end up agreeing with me if you have no prior knowledge. This is why we must research claims ourselves from as many different sources as humanly possible. Any point can be made, no matter how outlandish, if only one side of the argument is presented. Now that I've shown you 3 of the many countless techniques that the media uses to influence your opinions, such as scapegoating, fear-mongering, and cherry-picking, I hope you can identify these tactics in your daily life. We as a society need to use critical thinking and fact-checking before we accept anything as fact, even from a reputable news source. Remember, it has taken you your entire life to form your own ideas and opinions. Do not give someone else the power to take them away from you and make them theirs. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.